welcome back to the channel. It's Lauren. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing well. Today is another Scent Sunday, and I'm so excited because a new sampler came out from Sephora. You guys know that I love these fragrance samplers, and one of you guys let me know that this one was vanilla themed, and if you know something about me, I'm pretty obsessed with vanilla. Vanilla just smells so freaking good. I love a pure vanilla scent, and I've definitely been wanting to test a lot, so I was excited to try out a few of these. There were a few on my list that I'd been wanting to really test. On top of, I already knew some of these and have some of these. So I thought that I would go through them, let you know my thoughts on some of these vanillas in here, and I'll let you know which one I'm actually gonna end up picking. I guess real fast, if you don't know about the Sephora samplers, they do these packs where you get to try out a certain amount of perfumes. In here, we have 9 different ones. This retails for $68, and then in there you get a coupon to redeem for a full size. Now, a lot of these are the 1 fluid ounce. Some of them are 1.7 fluid ounces, and one of them actually is 3.4, which is pretty good. But it definitely can be a good deal, especially if you're getting one of those higher end ones. But I definitely think for you to get the most value out of here, knowing that you at least like something in here, like having a bit of a backup plan is definitely important, so that way you're not stuck with a perfume you don't want. I thought that they did a pretty decent job of having a range of stuff. I was kind of sad some of the really big hitter vanillas weren't in here. Skylar's Vanilla Sky wasn't in this set, which is one of my favorite vanillas, spoiler, as well as Vanilla 28 from Kaoli. That's one that I really want to smell so bad, but it's always freaking sold out. I mean, they definitely don't need this sampler to sell that one out because it freaking sells out on its own. So let's start with one of the vanillas I was super excited to smell in here. This one is from Floral Street, and it's called Wild Vanilla Orchid. I was wanting to try this for a really long time, but every time I go into Sephora, they never have this as a sampler ever. Like, I can never sample it there. So this was definitely one of the reasons I wanted to get this set. And I'm this is one of my least favorite ones out of this whole set. This is a floral vanilla, and I knew that from the name, like that orchid name, but there's this note, I think it's this note of bamboo in here that adds this freaky freshness to this scent. I really just dislike. It's quite sweet as well. There's just something about it that is not, it's not the vanilla for me, that's for sure. When I separate what the vanilla scent's coming through, I do actually like that vanilla. It's just something about, I think it's that bamboo that's coming out in this. It really just kind of throws me off. I don't really love it. So top notes on this are vanilla flower, cassis, and citruses. Middle notes, flowers, bamboo, jasmine, and then there's vanilla bean, sandalwood, orchid, and patchouli in the base notes. I'm sure I'm smelling a bit of that patchouli as well, and that might be something I don't like, but definitely not the vanilla for me, so spoiler, not getting that one. Maybe for you though, maybe it's one. I'd love to know if that's your favorite vanilla or if you really like that one. It just wasn't for me. So glad I didn't like blind by that. So glad. Next, we'll talk about one that we know I like because I already have it in the 30 ml, which this is the size that you could redeem for in the set. Not like a full-size replica. If that were the case, I would easily buy it because I bought this year and I'm halfway done with it. Like, I'm obsessed with this. Sam's obsessed with this. By the Fireplace is such a beautiful, smoky, woody marshmallow scent. It's rich and deep. I really love the smokiness in this fragrance. I love the warmth that it gives. I think it's so perfect for colder months and just like cuddling up with. I do find like as this fragrance wears down, that smokiness kind of dies away and the sweetness on my skin really starts to pick up, and it has that woody note to it as well. It's so beautiful. I love the lingering smokiness adds just enough of like a burnt quality to that like sweet kind of marshmallowy scent that's coming out of this fragrance, and it's just beautiful. One of my favorites. Sam really likes pairing it with Autumn Vibes, so he'll like combine the two to kind of cut the sweetness a little bit, and that smells absolutely amazing. In the top notes, it has cloves, pink pepper, orange blossom. The middle notes have chestnut, gaiac wood, and juniper, and the base notes have vanilla, Peru balsam, and cashmere, and just so you guys can have those notes. But absolutely love this one. I've talked about it quite a bit. And that was one of the safe fragrances for the sampler for me. I felt like at the end of the day, if I hated or didn't want to get any of the other ones, then I could always kind of as a fallback plan get another one of these. I know I would go through it. Let's talk more about the like true vanillas in here, because this set had like vanillas, and then it also just had like vanilla heavy fragrances that also are popular, which I think made sense to throw those in here. But next, let's talk about the Atelier Colognes Vanille in Sance. And this vanilla is just such an odd one. This is a very distinct different vanilla because it definitely, I mean, it smells like vanilla, but it is not sweet in the traditional way that vanilla tends to be. It's like I almost don't pick up any sweetness from this scent. I believe there's like bergamot in here or like a lime note, some type of like citrus like that. And I've described this before, but to me, this is kind of like a cold vanilla. Like there's no warmth coming from this vanilla. And I almost pick up something kind of plastic, like something about the way the notes translate for me come across a little plasticky. It comes across also like a little bit, I've said this, fishy. I know it doesn't, Sam does not smell that. I'm just like on my own trip with that one, but it's definitely not a vanilla for me. I like a sweet, ooey gooey gourmand type of vanilla, but if you don't and you wanted to try vanilla, this one might be really great. I know a lot of people really like this one, but just when I smell it, I'm like, no, that's not the one. That is not the vanilla for me. The top notes on this one are lime, citron, and coriander. The middle notes are vetiver, oak moss, and jasmine. And then the base notes are vanille, oak, and amber. So definitely if you're looking for a vanilla that's not going to be too sweet on you, if you feel like everything always turns very candy-like, or yeah, just like it's kind of too cloying and sweet on you, I would check this one out. This might be a nice one where you get a nice refreshing vanilla scent instead of something too sickly sweet. One of the vanillas I was really wanting to smell with this set is the Vanilla Vibes from Juliet Has a Gun. I really enjoy the Juliet Has a Gun fragrances. I have quite a few in my collection. I've noticed that when I get on with a house, I tend to like quite a few of the perfumes they do. And so I was excited to get a whole vial of this to really test it on my skin, to really smell it, to really see if I like it. And this also is a very unique vanilla because it is a salted kind of vanilla. And so this definitely reads very beachy to me. Like you smell that salt note for sure. It isn't as tangy as some of the other salt notes in vanilla perfumes that I've smelled. So I feel like it's not the same as like Olympia, I think it is, or even something like Salt Air or Salt from Ellis Brooklyn. Like this has that vanilla to kind of round out and tame down this sharp salt note that can happen, or at least for me, salt notes tend to just spike when I smell them, and this doesn't spike as much. There's something almost kind of powdery. I believe this has like tonka in it, and so that tonka I feel like also is helping to give this a soft quality, but it's very reminiscent of like an ocean vanilla or like a beachy type of vanilla. No coconut that can be detected, at least to me though. It is quite nice. There's something about it I really like. I definitely want to test this on my skin a little bit more before I would commit to getting it, although this is definitely the best value in the sampler because I think it says that you get a smaller one on the website, but on my actual ticket here, it says 3.4 fluid ounce of this, which that alone retails for $134, and the sampler itself is $68, so you're saving a ton of money. If Vanilla Vibes is one that you know you like, you can basically get it half off in this set if you already know that's what you want. Anyway, this to me actually gives me like scent memory of being on the swim team. There's something about this that comes across like powdered chlorine and the pool and sunscreen. That's like what I get from this. So it's something kind of comforting. It's definitely an interesting vanilla, but interesting in a way that I do enjoy it instead of interesting in a way that I don't. And I feel like Floral Straight One, the Vanilla Orchid, that one I didn't enjoy. Anyway, top notes on this, just salt. Middle notes, Vanilla Absolute and Orchid. And then base notes, tonka bean, sandalwood, musk, and benzoin. It's a nice one. It was definitely a top contender for me. Let's talk about some of the, I feel like, cult classic perfumes that are in here. So we have Black Opium from YSL. This does definitely have vanilla in it. Oh wow, I kind of like this. I think that this is gonna make it into my collection at some point. Like, I'm starting to really warm up to Black Opium. I find Black Opium to be, it's floral. Like when I initially smell it, my nose just gets hit with some florals, which isn't normally my thing, but there's something about how then after I initially smell the floral, right underneath that comes in something that's like this sweet, almost like sticky base of richness, I guess, that comes in after. And that really saves the perfume for me and leaves me remembering that note, you know? There's something really nice about it, actually. I find it's definitely less spicy than something like Flower Bomb, which we'll talk about in a second, but the top notes on this are pear, pink pepper, orange blossom. Middle notes, coffee, jasmine, bitter almond, and licorice. I definitely smell that licorice and kind of almond note. Definitely smelling that in that like second part of this fragrance for me. I also feel like the pear keeps this a little bit tart. There's something just slightly tart coming through, and I find that's how pear reads. Like pear can almost read the same way a berry would, like a raspberry or even a black currant. Like they can kind of all help give something a fruity sweetness, but also add some balance that it doesn't just like go to sugar town. And then in the base notes, there's vanilla, patchouli, cedar, and cashmere wood. And I can smell the patchouli in here, but I like it. I like it in this one. So this was another one that I was like, maybe I'll get Black Opium. Finally add that to my collection. A fragrance that a few years ago I never, ever, ever would have added. But I think at some point, a little 30 ml bottle of Black Opium is gonna make it into my collection. Really though, the florally scent in here, that's vanilla as well, that I think reigns queen. And is the one that I suggest if you want to smell this set, is the Valentino Donna Born in Roma. I am not someone who really loves floral scents, but there's something about this one. It is just a nice florally vanilla scent. I believe the main notes on this are like a vanilla bourbon. There's like a black currant, I believe, and jasmine. I think those are the main 3 notes, and it's just a really well done floral scent. It's floral, it's fruity, it's vanilla, and I feel like the vanilla in here just helps everything blend so nicely together, where the black currant in here isn't being too tangy and like kind of bouncing off the walls too much. I feel like sometimes I get that, like my nose almost kind of scrunches up from other like designer perfumes that kind of have a tang to them. There's something kind of powdery in here, but it's not like mature. This has like a really nice like liveliness and freshness and youth to it, but I feel like anyone could really wear this scent. I mean, anyone can wear any scent, you guys know, but I just think this is beautiful, especially for like spring and summer, like a spring and summer vanilla floral. It's so good. Obviously I have a little 30 ml bottle of it. I really, really like that one. The top notes on that perfume are black currant, pink pepper, bergamot. Then the middle notes, we have jasmine, sambac, jasmine tea. There's a shit ton of jasmine. Then we have in the base notes, bourbon, vanilla, cashmere, and gaiac wood. Just a really great one. I definitely suggest giving that one a sniff in store. Even if you don't get the whole sampler or maybe don't have access to it, that one's very nice. Okay, last kind of like cult classic one that's in here. This is Viktor and Rolf's Flower Bomb. This is such a spicy little like florally sweet fragrance. I remember at one point, like back in the day, I really didn't like this fragrance. I was like, it's so strong, it's so sweet, it's so all these things. But now smelling it, like I don't know, there's a place, right? Like I just think this is like a girl's version of like a cologne because of the spiciness that's in there. There has like this sweetness too. This just pairs perfect with a scarf. It just does, you know what I mean? And there's something kind of sexy about it. Same with Black Opium, something kind of sexy about them. Yes, a lot of people wear them, a lot of people like them, but it's because they're like good. Like, you know, they're just, I think, pretty nice. If you want something a little bit spicier, and I know this is like florally, it is, but I feel like the spices really help to counteract that, and the sweetness that's in here also does. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure you smelled that fragrance at some point. It is very popular and it's definitely been around for a while. Just so you guys know, the main notes on that are tea, bergamot, and osmanthus in the top notes. In the middle notes, orchid, jasmine, rose, freesia, African orange flower. And then in the base notes, patchouli, musk, and vanilla. And it's another one where you definitely can smell the patchouli. I think back in the day, the patchouli in both this and Black Opium really threw me off, and I didn't like that. But even though, you know, really strong patchouli is not quite my thing, I think the patchoulis in here are quite nice. And I think also my nose has become accustomed specifically to these scents because they are so popular and I've smelt them so many different times. I believe we have just 2 more scents to try out. This next one is a really popular vanilla sold at Sephora. I feel like if you're looking for a straight up vanilla, you're probably gonna go with either Vanilla Sky from Skylar, or you're gonna go with this one from the 7 Virtues, and this is called Vanilla Woods. And I think both these vanillas are definitely different. This has a more floral fruity thing going on with the vanilla that Vanilla Sky doesn't have. I definitely smell specifically the pear in this fragrance. It is a really nice vanilla. It's super sweet. It stays very true to vanilla even with that pear note in there. And it's definitely one that I'm very tempted to pick up from this set just to have. But I think realistically, like I know that I'll always reach for Vanilla Sky over this. Vanilla Sky has a warmth to it. I've mentioned this a million times, but it has like a cappuccino note. It has like a caramelized cedar note. And I actually pick up more on the woodsy notes in that fragrance than I do on the vanilla woods notes of wood. I don't get a ton of wood from this fragrance. And I also find that as this dries down, it stays very linear to me, which for a vanilla, I guess. It's not going to be changing a lot, but I don't even get more of that wood on the dry down on my skin. And I don't know, there's something about the way the pear is in there. Maybe it's the rose, because the notes in here, top notes pear, middle notes rose, base notes vanilla, caramel, amber. It's not bad, and maybe someday I'll come around to it and add it, but I just don't think it's quite there yet. I just don't. There's something missing from this vanilla for me to just like love, love, love it. I want it maybe a little bit deeper. Like I want more woodsy notes or a smoky note, an incense note, and that one is just like a cooler, lighter, more airy vanilla. So if that's what you're looking for, I think you'd really like that one. And I just feel like I get a bit more density even and richness from Skylar's Vanilla Sky. Oh yeah. You do. Yeah, and I like that. I'm realizing I definitely prefer that. I would way rather have my vanillas smell smoky and woody, like on that spectrum, than having my vanillas smell, I guess, more floral. Or even fruity. So anyway, that's Vanilla Woods. And then the last one, and spoiler alert, I think the one I'm gonna pick up is actually the one from Nest. This one's a pretty good value in the set at $98, but this is also an oil. And I'm normally not into oils. I like just spraying it on me. I don't wanna do a dropper necessarily, but there's something about this vanilla I really enjoy. It's like all on my fingers. I pick up definitely, I think there's a coconut note in this, and I definitely pick up that coconut vanilla. There is like a vanilla Orchid as well, but I don't find that this gets too floral, like too white florally and like suntan lotion and too beachy vanilla coconut, you know that. There's like this wood note in here that I find kind of grounds it and keeps it not going too far into floral tropical territory, for me anyway. This is Madagascar Vanilla from Nest. If I didn't say that, I don't think I did. And I think there's like a richness to this vanilla that I really enjoy. It reminds me of this other fragrance, which I'll mention in a second. But on my skin, I really get like a woody note. Like there's something creamy, I think, from that coconut, but also quite dry woody to me, like almost pencil shavings-esque. And I love that. I really love that mix with the vanilla. It's really quite sweet on top of all of that too. And it's a nice combination. I wish that it were a spray. I would prefer that, but there's something about the oil that's I don't know. I'm kind of like, maybe I'll try it out and see. And I really like that this vanilla has a warmth to it. Again, I do definitely prefer vanillas that I feel read warm instead of cooler, and this one reads warm to me. And so it's like this perfect kind of summer night vanilla that you can either cozy up with, you're wearing out, you could be outdoors, indoors. Like I can see it being quite versatile. So I think that might be the one that I pick up. So yeah, really fast recap. I think my top scents, the Nest Madagascar Vanilla, love that one. I mean, you guys know I love these two. Not gonna pick them up because I already have them, but absolutely beautiful scents, By the Fireplace and Donna Born in Roma. Vanilla vibes, I'm like kind of on the cusp. I need to try it on my skin a little bit more and really know if it's something that I'd want to have in my collection or if I can just like appreciate it without. Vanilla Woods is kind of the same way, like on the cusp. Yeah, that's kind of it. I don't know. That wasn't that definitive. I didn't like Vanilla Orchid from Floral Street. Definitely won't be picking that one up. I definitely didn't like Atelier Vanille and Sensei. I kind of already knew that one though because I had this 4 ml already. In here, you're just going to get vials. And yeah, real fast to kind of wrap this up, I thought I would talk about a few of the other vanillas that are at Sephora, just make this a whole Sephora vanilla video. I'm pretty sure, I mean, this is like my #1 favorite vanilla that you could get at Sephora, especially if we're talking about like straight up vanillas, like straight up, you know? I love Skylar's Vanilla Sky, you guys know that. Beautiful, beautiful, warm vanilla scent, very sweet, gourmand, beautiful, love it. Like I mentioned, I haven't tried Kayali's Vanilla 28, definitely on my list. I love the idea of it being a brown sugar vanilla, but I'm also a little nervous because a lot of people talk about it being floral, and I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know if I'll like it. So I'm waiting for that to come back in stock, and I'll probably get like a small, you know, like 10 ml of it, but yeah, we'll see. I really want to smell that one though. It's definitely a crowd favorite for a lot of people. The scent that I think is very similar to the Nest oil is also an oil, and this one's from Summer Fridays. This is the Soft Vanilla Rollerball Oil. This came in a trio actually. I'm not sure if it's still available on the site. Unfortunately, the cap is like flaking. I don't know, whatever's on the outside couldn't handle, I feel like, the oil that this houses. So that is definitely an unfortunate thing about this fragrance. So keep that in mind if that's really gonna annoy you. I don't know. I need to like try to just wash it all off. Anyway, this smells very similar to that one to me. This one doesn't have the floral bits though, so I find this to be more custard-like. One of you guys though said that you have this and you don't get the custard note, so not everyone gets that, but I get this like really beautiful richness from this vanilla. It's very warm and again, like I said, kind of custard-like to me, and it has this woody note as well that I feel like is so nice and wears really nicely on me. So definitely a cheaper option. I think it was on sale for a while on Sephora's site, so maybe that could be a good one if the Nest one seemed up your alley, but you want to spend a little bit less and you don't want it as floral, could be good. I don't know. And then the last two, if you want something that's vanilla but has other notes in it as well, this is SciFi from Ellis Brooklyn, and this is like a citrus tea vanilla. It's really bright because of the citruses in here. I also find that it's like refreshing because of the tea note, but then it's like smoothed out, rounded out all by that vanilla, and I think it's a really good one. It's very interesting. Kind of reminds me of like a fresher version almost of a creamsicle type of scent, so this could be something to try out if that sounds appealing to you. And then the last one I actually don't really enjoy. I got this from Scentbird, but this is Dirty Vanilla from Heretic. Really excited to smell this one. If you're into patchouli, I think you might like this. It's a spicy, warm vanilla, but it's not overly sweet at all. It definitely has way more of like the patchouli and the spices to it. It smells woody. I think I can definitely smell a lot of that vetiver that's in here because it's kind of like hay to me. I actually like this more than when I initially smelled it. I just thought this was gonna be a sweeter vanilla and have like maybe some depth to it, but to me this definitely is more spicy and woody, and there's that patchouli in there, and then that's in vanilla. You know, like there is vanilla there, but it's definitely not sweet. It's a good vanilla type scent for winter, and I think it'd pair actually really nice if you wanted to sweeten this up with another vanilla on top of it. So yeah, I thought I would just like review some of the other vanillas at Sephora in case you wanted to know some of my thoughts. But anyway, let me know what your favorite fragrance is that I mentioned in the video. That'd be great. Also, I will ask for vanilla recommendations. If you have a favorite vanilla and you want to let me know what it is, please, I would be so grateful. It's definitely a note I didn't expect to love as much as I do, but there's something just so great about a beautiful, simple, warm vanilla. It's just like happiness, like pure happiness to me. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you enjoyed the video, and other than that, I will see you in the next one. Bye.